you a little bit about today is, as I'll go through my presentation, which I do is predominantly about public image, and it's more setting the scene for you to create some thoughts and ideas in your head about how you see yourself in Rotary, and how you might be able to do a job in promoting the organization a bit better. And I always say this in regards to specifically membership, that it's not just one person's job, it's all our job to spread the share the Rotary dream and get people excited about being part of your club or Rotary in general. And just looking around on the screen, it's nice to see that there's a few people there who are wearing your Rotary shirts. I think Steve Miller, you got a Rotary shirt on there, and Jim does as well, and Sue has one, me, and hopefully Jim might share this little post I just made last night. But it's as we all know, on the 23rd of February, Rotary celebrates its 119th anniversary. Can you believe four blokes got together 119 years ago and decided to, hey, sounds like a good idea, and we're at 1.4 million members now. But what I thought of, a little campaign that I've started, which is heavily unofficial, and I'm sure I'll get an email from RI saying cease and desist. But what I'm doing is encouraging Rotarians all around the world on the 23rd of February to wear their Rotary shirts, or any Rotary apparel, hat, hoodie, sweatshirt, whatever, and wear it to your work, wear it to the gym, wear it riding a horse, walking down the beach, going into the supermarket, any opportunity, or even you could even just wear your shirt as pajamas and stay in bed all day. It doesn't bother me. But wear your Rotary apparel and take a selfie or a photograph or whatever, and share that out, and hopefully we can get enough people to take a bit of pride and showcase their Rotary pride on the Rotary's anniversary. So with that, I'm going to share a little PowerPoint with you, and hopefully you're all able to see that. It is I'll try and cut it down a little bit if we drag it on a little bit, but hopefully you'll get something out of it. Here we go. Can you all see that? Just give me a thumbs up, or if you can, James, can you see that? Great. Okay. So it's about telling the Rotary story. And I want to talk about first, whenever I talk about this Rotary to people, they always have some perceptions. So the first perceptions that come through is that we are like this. So, we're just a bunch of old dudes, and that could be true. Hey, look, I'm now turning 43 this year, so I'm not exactly a spring chicken. But that's the first perception, that we can be seen as a bit old-fashioned. The next perception is that we meet here, behind the gates of Jurassic Park. Our next perception is that we're a bit of a secret society. And as Jim said, I've been involved with Rotary now for 25 years, and I'm yet to be told of the special secret handshakes. But I'm assured, though, I'm off to the International Assembly next year, so maybe that's where they tell me all the secrets, perhaps. I don't know. The next perception is that we are an organization that's obsessed with food, well, essentially chicken. We do love a chicken dinner in Rotary, and I'm obviously, if you guys are being an online club, it's you're probably safe from not having to eat too much of it. But you can't tell me if you've never been to a Rotary meeting where you've not had chicken served. So hence why, a little interesting side note of Rotary. Did you know that Colonel Harlan Sanders was an actual Rotarian member for a good 40 years? Now you can understand why we're obsessed with chicken. The next perception is that we just, we're obsessed with having speakers, be it good quality or low quality. And again, I've never fallen asleep at a meeting, but I've seen people who have. So if you are, I know it is late Thursday night there, so by all means, if you feel like you need to have a bit of a sleep while I'm talking, that's perfectly fine by me. I fully understand. The next perception is that we're an organization that's cornered the market in big check presentations. We just seem to, every club's not immune to this. We obviously raise a lot of funds and do a lot of great work, and we want to tell people and what we do. But in this day and age, I'm really wondering who actually pays by check anymore. Certainly in Australia, I think banks have discontinued it. So we need to think of new ways of being able to showcase how we, give money and raise funds. The next perception is that we all just sing, and it's interesting to note that I wasn't serenaded by the dulcet tones of your clubs tonight singing a Rotary song, but I have been in the past. Not so much prevalent anymore in Australia, but clubs do love to sing. The next perception is that we are a religious organisation. Now, as you know, Rotary is a very broad church. People from very varied faiths or non-believers as well are all involved and invited to be involved with Rotary. And so we're not actually a religious organisation, but we do follow that ethos. The next, now I don't know what color state you are, but the next perception is that people think that we are a political organization. And as you know, we aren't a political organization either. I use this particular photo. I have no dog in the fight as far as this is concerned, but I use this picture for shock and awe purposes only because it always gets a reaction. And to be fair, in the Rotary Club of New Hampshire, I believe, have been doing it for the better part of 40 or 50 years, invite the candidates from both parties to present to the club, not the actual nominees from the parties, but the primary candidates to come and speak to the club. And this was from a few years ago. I haven't yet found a Joe Biden photo yet, but perhaps I should use that to be balanced and fair. The next perception is, and this is more of an Australian perception, is that we are known as, we love cooking barbecues. And in Australia, there's a place called the Bunnings Warehouse, which is like your Home Depot. So as a fundraising mechanism, Bunnings reaches out to a lot of sporting clubs and Rotary clubs, Lions, and each Saturday and Sunday, those representatives will come out. It must be, for example, one Saturday a month, it's the Rotary Club's turn. And so what we do is we go out and get the sausages and cook them and raise funds for our projects. But it's become such ingrained and synonymous as that, unfortunately, people just think that's all we do. That's all we do is cook sausages. So to break away from these perceptions, we need to make some bold statements about Rotary. And I am certainly someone who has made bold statements about Rotary in the past, and I will continue to do so in the future. We need to be passionate. You see, because people respond to the love and passion that we have for Rotary. So, don't be afraid to show it. As Jim said, I've got a full, or you'll see in a minute, a full Rotary suit. But it's might not have to be as passionate as I am, but it's very easy to do. As I said, on the 23rd of February, wear your Rotary shirt for the day, even if it's a meeting or not. Hopefully that might start some conversations with people. And it could be putting something on your car, like a bumper sticker or an emblem, wearing your Rotary pin, wearing your Rotarian at Work shirt, getting your toenails painted. Jim, I don't know if this could be something that could turn you on or something. I don't know, up your alley. You might be able to get your toes painted. But show your passion for Rotary. And the best way too, I find, is using social media as a way to do that, because let's face it, everybody's on social media now. Because it's not just with social media, it's not just about the like, though. It's not just about how many likes that your club page will get. What it is with social media, it's about creating a positive story. So when people ask me, what does Rotary do? I don't have a 10-minute elevator preamble pitch that I say. All I simply say is, we help people. That's what we do. We help people. That's what we do. And it's about creating a positive story, specifically on social media, to get the good messages of Rotary out there. And you see, the stories that we do create action. People are engaged with it. They want to know more. They want to participate, because stories create action, and we are people of action. So we got to start telling Rotary's story. But I want to talk to you a little bit about some Rotarians who I've encountered in the past, and some of you may recognize these people as well. My friend John Nanny, John Nanny, I believe, is in Delaware. Um, yes, he is, because that's what the slide says. John was invited to join Rotary after giving a presentation on his polio and post-polio journeys. So he's confined to a wheelchair. He had polio as a child, and apparently a few months before the vaccine was developed, he got polio, so he missed out on the vaccine. But he knew what Rotary did for polio eradication, but he didn't know anything else about Rotary. So as an individual, his volunteer work is obviously very limited, but he, with the help of 1.4 million members at his side, he can be of service, and his service is multiplied many times over. So John was involved or came to Rotary through being a guest speaker. The next person I want to talk to you about is Andrea. Now, Andrea is from Tennessee, and you'll see that she's holding the giant pepper grinder. Well, Andrea is a manager or owner of the world's largest salt and pepper shaker museum down there in Tennessee, and she has every salt and pepper shaker you can possibly imagine. Andrea has, but Andrea was never asked to join Rotary. She was asked to participate and give her time and talent, but she never was asked to join. So when I say that, the local club would come to Andrew and say, "Hey, we're doing a fundraiser, or we're doing, an event in the town, blah blah. Would you like to support our Rotary Club? Salt and Pepper Shaker Museum. Would you like to support our club by giving us some money or whatever?" But the club never thought of her to ask her to be a member. So her bits of advice are: if you are approaching somebody for a donation or help, business or whatever, ask them to join. And her other tip is, because she does a lot of cruising, if you travel across the world on a cruise ship or whatever, try to attend another club meeting. So if your visits take you to Sydney or wherever you go along to a club and see how different they are to your club. It's a good way to make some friends. So for Andrew, Rotary is an extended family. The memories and experiences that she's collected by connecting with Rotarians on her travels are the best gift that one can receive from Rotary. So in summary of Andrea's position is, if you approach local businesses or people to help your club, perhaps think about them as potential members. The next person I want to talk to you about is my friend, past District Governor Jitendra. Now, Jitendra is in the Rotary Club of Brisbane International in Queensland. Now, Jitendra joined Rotary to get things done. So he is a get things done kind of guy. He's undertaken 6 international projects, and he's made the work of Rotary a reality. He does a lot of projects in Fiji. He sent 155 wheelchairs through our donations in kind program in Australia to Fiji. He served 8,000 meals for the homeless in Brisbane. His philosophy is that Rotary certainly allows one to create happiness for a lifetime. So Jitendra is a get things done kind of guy. And are these the sort of people that you have in your club? The ones that sort of just get in there and get things done? Next person I want to talk to you about is Kate McKenzie. Now, Kate first joined Rotary in Sydney as a way to connect with people. But when she first had her son, Kate was determined to stay active in Rotary because she feels that Rotary can be truly family friendly. And as we know, it can be a little bit difficult to get younger members involved in Rotary if they have families. So Michael, her son, first went to a Rotary meeting at 6 weeks old, and I believe Michael has just turned 8, and I think he's going to be the incoming club president. I'm joking. Um, well, am I joking? I mean, we're so desperate for club presidents. Who would, we could give it to a 10-year-old kid. Anyway, when she moved back to Western Australia, she joined the Rotary E-Club of WA Rotary, and it gave her the perfect balance of online meetings with social weekend catch-ups that her kids could be involved with, and had projects that had family focused. So is your club family focus? Is your club encouraging of those people with children who can stay involved and get involved with Rotary? And I can kind of skip over this guy, but I'll quickly talk. I joined Rotary at 18. Well, actually, I joined Rotaract at 18. I didn't join to make a difference. I didn't join to change the world. I joined to simply find a girlfriend. Um, we're all adults here. At 18 years old, I really joined to just find someone, a girlfriend, and have, you know, what young people do. Um, but I moved from Rotaract when I turned 30, so I had done 12 years in Rotaract, and I'd been, had a lot of wonderful experiences with it. When I did polio program in India and exchanges and all that sorts of things. But I moved from Rotaract to Rotary because it just felt like the natural thing to do. It just was like the continuation. So for me, Rotary is a passion. Some would say it's an obsession. But and that obsession has helped and hindered. As I said, wearing a loud Rotary suit, you get your fair share of people that will support you and those who certainly don't. And that's just the typical of human nature. And Rotary is not immune to that. But Rotary has opened the doors to me for the many opportunities that I get, and even the opportunity to speak to you in Ohio tonight. But I want to ask you, are you encouraging of those alumni people who've come through the Rotary programs to be involved in your club, be it Rotaractors, Interactors, Youth Exchange, other youth programs, RILA? How encouraging are you of other participants of Rotary programs to be involved in your club? So you see, we all have these stories to tell. So these questions that I want you to that I'm asking of you is, how family friendly is your club? Like Kate, are parents of children part of your demographic? If not, can you create your club to change like that? Do you invite guest speakers to join your club like John was? Does your club offer enough local and international projects to keep people engaged like Jachendra? Does your club ask for donations, or do you ask for services from local business people and professionals? Are they forgotten about, like Andrea was? Does your club engage with alumni like they did with me? Or do you help or hinder your passionate Rotary members? And more importantly, how well is your club doing to promote Rotary? Could your club be a rival to Tinder and attract the singles crowd? So they walk past us every single day. We've got 1.4 million stories waiting to be told, and we're just waiting to be asked to tell them. Then let me move quickly on to the branding. So as you know, this is not our brand, the Rotary. It's not our brand. It is our logo. This is our brand. You are our brand. You wear the shirts. You do the service activities. You go to the club meetings. Rotarians around the world, that is our brand, not the logo. So what I want you to do is I want you to talk about Rotary. Talk until you're blue in the face. The only way we're going to get people involved in our great organizations is if we start talking about it. I want you to talk about it so much that if you were kidnapped, they'd return you after 2 hours because you're talking about Rotary too much. And this is a true meme for me. If honestly, if I got a penny for every time that I talked about Rotary, not only would I have a lot of pennies, I would probably be a very rich man too, I would think. So talk about it. Use social media to do that, because this is where the conversation is happening, be it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can use these facilities as much as you like. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you personally have to use them, but think of it from a Rotary perspective, from a club perspective, to have these on your radar for you to use to tell the stories. So who would you like to see your stuff? You club members, which is pretty useful, club members every week, or you're trying to look for an external audience that just want to, learn more about your club or donate, or you're looking for both. Next thing I say is you sort of think about it getting into that campaign mode. Make content, make it go viral, get engagement, get those likes. I know I said it's not all about the like, but get those likes, get that engagement, get people seeing your stuff that wouldn't normally see Rotary content. Something that I made up a few years ago, which has been used by others, Russell Hampton, for example, without credit, but that's all right. That's just a little side note there. But believe there is good in the world. Be the good. And I'm going to be releasing a new lapel pin very soon with Be the Good. But it's appeared on shirts. It's appeared on your car. It's appeared on, highway signs, which is a great way of advertising your club if you've got that ability to be able to do that. But Be the Good. It's a great slogan, a great campaign. And as I said, these clubs got together and decided to pitch in and promote their club on a large freeway, which I think is actually wonderful advertising. And if you have that opportunity in your district to be able to do something like that, you really is, when people are driving down the road and they see it, it might necessarily hit that nerve right away, but it might just ferment in people's minds and think, oh, geez, yeah, that's something I might want to think about further. The next thing I may be well known about is the Rotary Hero. And I certainly feel strongly that, which is why I'm wearing my Rotary Hero shirt, is that we are all heroes. Heroes don't wear capes, they wear Rotary shirts. So, we're all Rotary superheroes. Me, Rotary Superman. But there's also, great things that came from that. Something that I did a few years ago was a Rotary superhero pin, and club members and others were acknowledged for being Rotary superheroes in their community, and it was a very popular campaign. Then you've got Captain Rotary, past District Governor Noel Jackson from 6400. He might certainly, if you were in Melbourne, you would have ran into Captain Rotary, another great ambassador for our organisation, showing the fun elements and the great things that we can do as Rotarians. But he also went above and beyond. He not only plastered his car with it, but he had a district Captain Rotary comic book made and a great public image campaign as well. Another guy that sort of thinks outside the box. And he came up with this, we love acronyms in Rotary. So he came up with HERO, Human Engaging Rotary Opportunities. So we are all Rotary heroes. But, the thing is, though, we don't save cats out of trees unless that's you can think of that as a great fundraiser for your club. Nor do we lift cars above our heads like Superman. But together we end polio. That's a superheroic act. Together we transform people's lives and the lives of those in our communities. Together we connect with people from all around the world and those in our local and international communities to do good and do good in the world. We inspire people. I've never been so inspired by the Rotarians that I meet and the good works that we do. And to me, that's sort of superheroic stuff. We empower people. Just think about all those kids that have come through our youth programs, all those people that have benefited from the work that we everyday Rotarians. We give people empowerment, and that's such a tangible thing. And we have fun. Okay, that might not be super heroic, but we do. We try and have fun, and I think that's the unofficial fifth of the four-way test is, are we having fun? And that simply is true, though, in Rotary. If you're not having fun, why are we doing it? So we are all Rotary heroes. So cutting back to the things that you might post on social media, how is your content and what you're putting out there to the world, how's it going to cut through to all the other stuff that comes through that you see every single day? You see, social media is a visual medium. So from this day forward, if you've got a pen in your hand and a piece of paper, write this down. Social media is a visual medium. So inspiring images, they get actions. So do not post just, hi, I'm having a great day at Rotary anymore. Always make sure there's a photograph or something to go with it, because it gets engagement. So you need to tell a great visual story, and you need to find the hook. So whether you're sunken a giant rotary wheel off the ocean in the Philippines for an artificial reef, or whether KISS turned up to your Rotary Club, tell a great visual story. Now, this is from my district, and it's the Rotary Club of Woolgoolga, and this photo from a few years ago has caught my eye because when I first looked at it, I thought, why is there a Rotary guy holding a fish above his head? And why does it look like there's a 12-foot tall Indian man about to kiss it? So the gentleman at the back is John Arkin. He's the auctioneer, and George is at the front. And what they do is, this is a fish auction, so to speak. So each year in Woolgoolga, in a northern town of New South Wales, it's a fishing town, they get pelagic spearfishers will come in as a competition, and they'll go out and catch the fish, and whatever they get caught gets given to the Rotary Club, and the club donates it as a fundraiser. And it's been going for many years, and it's a big fundraiser. But for me, it was that image that just caught my attention, and that's the sort of thing that stops you from scrolling by on Facebook. You want to know, gosh, what do we know? I want to know more about this. So here's these fellas in action. Lots of fish there. So you could be at the bottom of the ocean ending polio. You could be inducting your youngest club president. You could be bursting through the door with an international president. You could be inviting Darth Vader to talk to your club about the Force way test. Anyway, or you could be jumping out of a shelter box. And I mean, you know, you're in real trouble in the world if you see me coming out of a shelter box. It'd be more the case of just closing the lid and sending it back. But anyway, so we need to tell some great visual stories. What I see far too often with Rotary nowadays is photos like this that are promoting their club meeting. Okay, as my friend would say, stop it, don't do it, stop it. Okay, we've got to get away from these sorts of imagery. The next is this. Now, I'm expecting someone that's taken a photograph of the meeting tonight to put it up. But this again, and it was very prevalent, obviously, through COVID. But again, it's become cliche because it reminds me of the Brady Bunch. The next thing is, as I talked about earlier, is our perception is that we love these big check presentations. We love to give away these big checks. But have you noticed if you take a photograph like this and you'll send it to your local newspaper, how often they won't publish that photograph because they've seen it all before. We need to think of new ways of being able to promote the good works that we do. And also too, the other thing is when you are posting on social media, and if you have people in your club, always double check before you post. So I've had the good fortune of going to the Rotary Club of Arse Valley. They had the best rump steak I have ever eaten in my entire life. But I tell you what, for dessert, the chocolate pudding left a lot to be desired. So it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But double check what you post before you put it up there. And the other thing is too, if you're happy, tell your face about it. So poor old President Francesca, she inducted a new member, Chris. Well, doesn't Francesca and Chris look like they are ecstatic to be involved in Rotary? So look, if you're happy, tell your face about it. So here's a couple of quick content ideas. I'm not sure how much time I've got left, but I'll quickly pump through it that I want you to talk about. So if you have a fun run or a car show, bike classic, whatever your club does, talk about what your club does. A club in Western Australia, they do a big Lego event called Bricktober. So they, you know, they're great work in promoting their Lego and you know, their fundraising event. Talk about what your local and international projects are. Do you do something with maternal and child health or water or shelter boxes? What does your club do for the international and local areas? Talk about the connections that your club has with your local community. Do you get involved in your local police force or other emergency service providers? What do you do with your local businesses or other volunteer organisations like Lions or, in this case, the Surf Lifesavers? Talk about your club's diverse membership. You know, everybody's different. Give your club members a bit of their 15 minutes of fame. Take a photograph of one of the club members in your club. Could be Jim, could be anybody, Bob, whoever. Photograph, and then simply, how long have you been involved in the club for? What's the best thing about being involved in Rotary? What's a tip that you can give someone who would like to join the club? Talk about your diverse membership. Talk about diversity. And this is really important, certainly going into the future in Rotary. My thoughts are is talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI. So for me, it doesn't matter that what religion you are, whether you're able, disabled, gay or straight, rich or poor, you know, whether you're an alien or a superhero, or whatever. Rotary is an opportunity for you to be able to help others in need. So we shouldn't be restricting those people to come along and be involved in our organization. Talk about the areas of focus. Does your club do anything in the environment or with educational literacy or disease prevention and treatment? Give people updates on what you're doing in these specific areas. If you can't talk about anything else, post memes. Always post memes. I have plenty of memes that you're very freely welcome to use that I post on my own social media accounts. Whatever that I post, you're fair and free use to use and help tell the Rotary story. This one's more for the Australian audience. People that come along to the Home Depot. Do they want anything at Home Depot? No, they just come along to get a sausage sizzle. Another, not a Rotarian, you ought to be. Now they're not great, but different other memes. These aren't the Rotarians that you're looking for. So I want you to talk about you. I want you to tell others about why you're involved in Rotary. And it's about making it personal. Whether you're at a Rotary barbecue, painting over graffiti, or catching up with your doppelganger at a convention, whatever you do in Rotary, tell people about it. I like to tell and include your family. These are my two sons, James and little Sam. And we've got another one on the way, due in July, a year before I'm District Governor. So I'll have 2 kids under 2 when I'm DG. Wish me luck. But share involve your family in Rotary, and that includes everybody. Even my cat Emily, who she was this close. She was this close, not to ending polio, but she was this close to scratching my face. So let me tell you, so it wasn't easy to get that shirt on her, and it certainly wasn't easy to get it off. But you see, for me, being in Rotary, it gives me a sense of purpose, a sense of being, doing the things that I do, the things that I like to do. So show your Rotary pride. Dress up as a Rotary superhero. Wear your Rotary shirt on the 23rd of February, or every day if you wanted to. Like me, I've got this Rotary suit, and I wear that at every opportunity. Obviously not today, but at most opportunities I'm involved with Rotary. I'm thinking of the next big thing, the Rotary mascot. I'm not, I probably don't really like my Rotary suit at the moment. I'm probably sure that I'm probably not going to like that mascot costume, but you've got to be bold. You've got to be passionate. So I ask you, do you have a big heart for Rotary like I do? So in ending my little presentation, tell your Rotary story. Use social media to do that. Think differently. Think of ways that make your club different than the club next door. Make Rotary fun. And so how can you help? Well, it's not the public images chair's job. You're all the key to Rotary's public image in promoting Rotary. And remember the saying that I said about the sausages at the very start, where a lot of, particularly in Australia, they thought all we do is cook sausages. Well, I say sell the sizzle, not the sausage. Sell the good things about Rotary and what it does. So if you are on social media, feel free to follow me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Changemaker Evan Burrell. I post pretty much every day, a lot of Rotary content and content about my travels in the world and change and everything else. And if you see things that I post, feel free to reuse them and share them and help promote your club and Rotary in your area. And if you are, I've got a Rotary graphics group that I think a few of you may already be members. And if you aren't, somebody probably might be able to post a link on the chat box in this. I haven't got the access to that at the moment, but there are certainly plenty of ways in able to get in contact with me and see some Rotary content that gets put out there. And I think that was yes, it was the last slide. So I will stop sharing and I'll go back, and hopefully I haven't eaten too much of your time. If there is any short time for questions, I'd happily take a couple of ones before you finish up with your meeting. Thank you, James.
Does anyone have a question for Evan? I would like to know if we can buy the Superman shirt somewhere.
Unfortunately not. I only had about I had about 50 or 60 shirts made, and I gave them out at the was it the Atlanta? No, not the Atlanta convention. It might have been the Toronto convention. And there was, I had some of them made by a shirt guy in New Jersey, actually, who got them shipped to me at the convention. But unfortunately, they're no longer available. They probably don't really meet the branding guidelines anymore either. And you know what it's like with the Rotary Police. I've had many an encounter with the Rotary Police over the years. I try to use the Rotary logo, and we should all use the Rotary logo as we're supposed to, but sometimes it can stifle a little bit of creativity, and And yeah, I'm as you know, anyone cops the slings and arrows in Rotary, it certainly would be me that will have that happen to me. But unfortunately, the Rotary Hero pins and shirts aren't really available anymore, Chris. But there is always something new and better and bigger that I think about and come up with. So stay tuned.
Good answer. Anyone else have a question?
Chris, if you find me at the next gathering, I think I have a couple of Evan's superhero pins buttons left that I had purchased a while ago. So, and if I don't have his, I definitely have my own pin now that I've created for my Rotary jacket. So I'm happy to give that to you the next time I see you.
There should be more pins. There should be more pins in the world. I've got another pin coming, Catherine. I should send you a message on. I'll put up. I've done 3. Oh, actually, I didn't. My partner Kath did 3 designs. I'm going to put them up and get some votes and see which people think are really good. But it's in the vein of the be the good. But yeah, those superhero pins, Catherine, you should hold on to those. They're as as they say, they're as rare as rock and hard shit.
I know. I think I got a couple left, but I'm happy to share.
There you go. Well done.
Don't listen to him. I'll still take one. No, okay. Praveen, is your hands up or are you just?
Just
presentation. Good presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, Evan, I think our club is a little bit different. I don't know if I told you this or not, but we have actively recruited alumni. We have, I think, 6 members of our club that were former group study exchange people. We have 5 former Rotary Youth Exchange students that are in the club, and they're not here tonight because most of them are in Europe. I know that one that was Japan was going to come, and both of her little daughters are sick. But yeah, we've done that, and they make great Rotarians. Emily over here, down there in the bottom, did you put Johnny to bed? But Emily's from
No, she didn't put me to bed yet. Sorry. Hey. John, say hi to everyone. Can you say hi? Thank you.
It needs a future Rotarian.
Emily's an example. She was a group study exchange member.
I was going to say, this is our chaos of what is currently happening during the meeting. We just finished dinner.
Yeah.
He's over here.
And so is Laura here, that she was a group study exchange member. So they had prior experiences before coming in, and we've actively recruited those kind of members to become part of Rotary, and they make excellent Rotarians, and I agree with you. There's just not enough,
and they continue
not
to
enough clubs that do it. They forget them.
Continue to solicit too.
What's that?
I said they continue to solicit.
Why haven't you joined yet? This is a guy who is a former group study exchange member, and he still hasn't joined Rotary.
I support my wife.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? It's gonna get trapped.
He also works for Google, so.
Oh, he's with Wemo now.
Get my website views up, folks, if you work for Google.
Did you go down the slide, honey? We're going.
Does anyone else have a question? Or comment?